Hare Krishna, thank you for joining. Let's discuss Srimad Bhagavatam, and we're on verse 21. We'll do that today, and there's a lot to talk about in that verse. Let's start with the Radha Madhav. Jai Radha Madhava, Jaya Kunja Bihari, Jai Radha Madhava, Jaya Kunja Bihari, Gopijana Vallabha, Jayo Giravardhari, Gopijana Vallabha, Jayo Giravardhari, Yashodanandana Vrajjana Ranjana, Yashodanandana Vrajjana Ranjana, Yamuna Tiravanchari, Jai Radha Madhava, Jaya Kunja Bihari, Jai Radha Madhava, Jaya Kunja Bihari, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Hare Bol. Om Agyantimrindasya Gyananjana Shalakya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namah Shri Chaitanya Manobishtam Staptam Yena Bhutale Sam Rupa Akadamayam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuttapadakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sagana Raghunathan Vitam Tam Sajivam Sadhvetam Savadutam Krishna Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padam Sagana Lalita Shri Vishakhanvitam Scha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namastate Tapta Kanchan Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavan Eshwari Rishabhanu Sutadevi Pran Mami Hari Priya Vancha Kalpato Brehescha Kripa Sindhuveva Cha Patitana Pavanebhyo Vaishnavyo Namo Namah Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasdi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Mukham Kruti Vachalam Pangum Langyate Garim Yat Kirpatav Mandashi Guru Taranam Paramnanda Madhvam Shishtaneshram Hariyam Tassat Narayam Namaskritya Naram Cheva Narottamam Devim Sasvitim Vyasam Tato Jamaduriyat Nashta Presham Uptreshu Nityam Bhagavad-Sevayā Bhagavati Uttam Shloka Bhakti Bhavati Neshtaki Hare Krishna. Okay, so let's stop sharing this and share this screen. Okay, so this is 21. Can you see?
Yeah, Prabhupada, we can see.
Thank you, Mataji. Okay. Now, last time we were talking about the 9 stages of bhakti from Shraddha to Prem. And we also mentioned how each scripture talks about these 9 stages in their verses. And even though, like we say, the scriptures talk about Svanda, Vidya and Prayojan, here now it also talks about the 9 stages of bhakti. It's like the scriptures, they tend to be systematic. They're set in a format. So that's how they are. They're sort of divided into 9 stages of bhakti, and we discussed how different ones were like that. And now we will talk a bit further from there. So vidyate hirdaya grantish chidiyante sarva samshaya chiyante chasya karmani drishta evat atmani ishvare. So vidyate, pierced, hirdaya, heart, granthi, knots, chidiyante, cut to pieces, sarva, all, samshaya, misgivings, shiyante, terminated, cha, and asya, his, karmani, chain of fruity actions, driste, having seen, eva, certainly, atmani, onto the self, and ishvare, dominating. So some of these words, it can be so many things. Thus the knot in the heart is pierced and all misgivings are cut to pieces. The chain of fruitive action is terminated when one sees the self as master. The chain of fruitive action is terminated when one sees the self as master. Okay. So, vidyate hirdaya grantish, chidiyante sarva samsheha, chiyante chasya karmani drishta evatman ishvare. So, attaining scientific knowledge of the personality of Godhead means seeing one's own self simultaneously. As far as the identity of the living being as spirit self is concerned, there are a number of speculations and misgivings. The materialist does not believe in the existence of the spirit self, and empiric philosophers believe in the impersonal feature of the whole spirit without individuality of the living beings. So there's no variegatedness for the impersonal, just one feature. There's no energies involved, different varieties of energy, nothing, just one feature. But the transcendentalists affirm that the soul and the super soul are two different identities, qualitatively one, but quantitatively different. This is what Mahaprabhu taught us. There are many other theories, but all these different speculations are at once cleared off as soon as Sri Krishna is realized in truth by the process of bhakti yoga. Sri Krishna is like the sun, and the materialistic speculations about the absolute truth are like the darkest midnight. As soon as the Krishna's sun is arisen within one's heart, the darkness of materialistic speculations about the absolute truth and the living beings is at once cleared off. So where there is sun, there cannot be darkness. In the presence of the sun, the darkness cannot stand, and the relative truths that were hidden within the dense darkness of ignorance become clearly manifested by the mercy of Krishna, who is residing in everyone's heart as the super soul. Okay. So in Bhagavad-Gita 10.11, the Lord says that in order to show special favor to his pure devotees, he personally eradicates the dense darkness of all misgivings by switching on the light of pure knowledge within the heart of a devotee. So the pure knowledge is there, just the light is turned off at the moment. When we are ready, Krishna will switch on that light and pure knowledge will be revealed to us. Therefore, because of the personality of Godhead's taking charge of illuminating the heart of his devotee, certainly a devotee engaged in his service in transcendental love cannot remain in darkness. So basically, whatever we're doing in life, whether it's in material level or on a spiritual level, we are looking for adhikar, we are looking for the right. So, for example, in the material level, somebody might think, oh, I worked so hard and for my exams, and why is God getting all the credit? I'm the one who did it. I put all the energy. Well, for a start, everything belongs to God. You belong to God. Your body, your energy, your brain, this all God given. It's up to Him how He gives it, or whether we are able to use it or not. But if you work hard and you do well, then that means you had the adhikar, and then Krishna allows you to do well. If you didn't work hard, then you haven't got the adhikar to say I'll get grade A, because you didn't work for it, right? So it's adhikar. So same in bhakti, that we have to demonstrate the adhikar by showing that by our enthusiasm, our eagerness to find Krishna, to have that knowledge. We have to work for that adhikar, put the effort in, and then end of the day, Krishna, if he thinks we have got the adhikar, he will give us everything. Sometimes you can work really hard and not get anything. That's just, again, so we can't guarantee that just because we worked hard, we will get something, because we didn't get the adhikar to have it. We're not ready. Maybe past karmas burning off. We didn't get something even after working hard. So it's bhakti adhikar, bhakti having the right. So, okay, the devotee cannot remain in darkness, and because a devotee is enlightened by the personality of Godhead, his knowledge is certainly perfect. This is not the case for those who speculate on the absolute truth by dint of their own limited power of approach. Perfect knowledge is called parampara, or deductive knowledge, coming down from the authority to the submissive oral receiver, who is bona fide by service and surrender. One cannot challenge the authority of the Supreme and know Him also at the same time. He reserves the right of not being exposed to such a challenging spirit of an insignificant spark of the whole. So again, one cannot challenge the authority of the Supreme. So we cannot try to, we cannot challenge this. We have a submissive challenge coming down from authority to the submissive oral seva, who is bona fide by service and surrender. One cannot challenge the authority of the Supreme and know Him at the same time. He reserves the right of not being exposed to such challenging spirit of an insignificant spark of the whole. That's us, insignificant spark. A spark subjected to the control of illusory energy, and we are under illusion for sure. The devotees are submissive, so this is what a devotee should be like, submissive, and therefore the transcendental knowledge descends from the personality of Godhead to Brahma, and from Brahma to his sons like Narada, and disciples in succession, and then it comes to us through the parampara. Everything comes through the parampara. This process is helped by the supersoul within such devotees. That is a perfect way of learning transcendental knowledge. So through the parampara, that's how we learn, not make up our own speculations and concoct things. So this enlightenment perfectly enables the devotee to distinguish between spirit from matter. That's when you start realizing the difference between spirit and matter, because the knot of spirit and matter is untied by the Lord. This knot is called ankar, and it falsely obliges the living being to become identified with matter. As soon as this knot is loosened, therefore all the clouds of doubt are at once cleared off. One sees his master and fully engages himself in the transcendental loving service of the Lord, making a full termination of the chain of fruitive action. In material existence, a living being creates his own chain of fruitive work and enjoys the good and bad effects of those actions life after life. But as soon as he engages himself in the loving service of the Lord, he at once becomes free from the chain of karma. His actions no longer create any reaction. So this is what we are looking for, that all our actions should be spiritual, that they're not accumulating any good or bad karma. So we're talking about cutting the knot. This verse is talking about cutting the knot. So what of the Hridaya Granthi? So heart, Hridaya as in heart, and Granthi the knots. So what is this knots, Hridaya Granthi? And Srila Prabhupada gives example that if a man and woman unite, the knot becomes tied up very strong. So you can see when people get married, especially the Hindu weddings, they tie them they put a nice strong knot, in their clothing to each other while they're taking the, going on 7 times around the fire. So that's it. You're tied, for life. They tied, the knot. So that's the gross knot, but there is also the subtle knot, the Hridaya Granthi knot between a man and a woman, and the knot becomes tied up very strong. Soon as there is a knot there, what happens? Once you are tied together, there's a knot, there's a house, then children, friends, money, and so many other knots appear, right? So you got this knot between husband and wife. There you go, start your Gresta life, and then you just making knots after knots after knots, career, friendship, new relatives. There's knot after knot builds up. So we're not saying we shouldn't get married, but it's all about the consciousness, as we always discuss. So, and we are, we're accumulating so much karma at the same time. And Srila Prabhupada says that, well, first of all, we have to cut down the knot through the knowledge, and also our karma should be fried up like chickpeas by devotional service. So what he's saying is that if you throw something away, like say chickpeas, if you threw them away, they start sprouting even on their own, right? But to stop them sprouting, you have to fry them. So we have to fry our karma by the fire of devotional service. So that way we won't get any more results. And in Gresta life, as we already talked about the Gresta life, how we should. Gresta life is about the husband and wife not just tying a knot for material reasons, but tying that knot so they can, become progress in spirituality together, help each other to become Krishna conscious, and also we have children, so we can bring them up as Krishna conscious. There's no guarantees, we can't change others, we can't change children, we can't change husband or wife, thought process, but we can try in a subtle way by our own demonstration, by setting good example. And it's nice or it's perfect, in fact, if the husband and wife can advance together and children, at least some of them, can join in as well, then your life has been successful. Now, these 9 stages of bhakti we have been discussing, and we shared how different scriptures are showing the 9 stages of bhakti. Now, there's an example of making lassi, right? Mango lassi, and that process, because we say that is the when you get prema, that is like the sweetest fruit, the sweetest mango, because mango is the king of fruits. So the example is always around a mango. So that's what we're getting. We get the ripened fruit, the most sweetest fruit. Even the Bhagavatam is compared to the ripened fruit. So we talk about the mango When it's ready, you can make lassi with it. So how do we go about making mango lassi from scratch? Never mind making, this, they talk about making coffee from beans and all that kind of thing. How you make, for us, is lassi. How do you make mango lassi? So the Sharda stage of the 9 stages. Sharda stage means you grow the mangoes. To grow the mango, you need some seeds, right? So Sharda is like the seed that in the heart. To get the seeds, I need to understand what mangoes are and how to grow them. So you must understand the process, right? What the initial requirements are. So firstly, I will need to visit a nursery to get some seeds. So visit a temple to get the seed of bhakti. Without the seeds, I can't grow mangoes. So if there's no seed in the heart, how are you going to grow those mangoes? I also need to have faith that the man in the shop will give me the right seeds, right mango seeds, and the right advice. So you don't know how to grow the mango fruit. You don't know how to do bhakti. So you approach the people who can give you that seed of bhakti, that can give you that sharda, and also give you the right advice that this is the process you follow. And Srila Prabhupada has given us the process that we share with other people. So now you've got the seeds, and the man in the shop, Namhate, has showed you how to follow the process. So Shraddha is the first stage, and then you got Sadhu Sangha. So you take advice from the shopkeeper how to plant those seeds, place them in fertile soil, put water, put fertilizer, water every day, starting early in the morning. We need faith that this process works, and at the same time have the faith. Yes, what I'm doing, I'm chanting 16 rounds, I'm listening to Bhagavatam, I'm serving the devotees, I'm glorifying Krishna, I'm listening to the classes. You have to have faith. That Shraddha, you have to carry it, make it stronger through the process. You must have faith that this process is going to work. And then Shraddha to Sadhu Sangha to Bhajan Kriya. When you keep watering the seeds, allow sunshine. After some time, you see some seedlings, some plants sprout. So you start seeing some results coming out. And then the fourth, so Bhajan Kriya is basically, you're joining in with the devotees, doing what they're doing, kirtan, etc., whatever they're doing, you follow them. And then you suddenly start purifying yourself, anartha nivritti. So you see a variety of plants growing instead of one. That's the danger. So you're doing Bhajan Kriya, and your plant is now growing through that Bhajan Kriya process, but you see that there's more than one plant here. There's plant of bhakti, but what are all these other plants doing here? You call the nursery, which is a mango plant, which are the weeds? They said, oh, there's so many here, so how will I know which is the mango plant that I'm growing? And once you have the information, you uproot the weeds which have also come up. And we'll talk about the weeds later. So along with our bhakti plant, there's other weeds which don't need that much attention. They come up anyway. It is, in the weeds in the garden. They don't need any sunshine or any water or any help or any fertilizer. They just come up easily, and they just refuse to go away, right? So you have to be careful that you're in the Nartha Nivritti stage, your bhakti plant is growing, your creeper is growing, but at the same time, your weeds are growing as well, side by side. And those weeds will probably take the nourishment from your plant. That's the other danger. They will suck up all its energy, and the creeper could die, because the weeds are very good at taking away the energy from your bhakti plant. So then, if you keep doing that, you come to Nishta, Ruchi, Asakti. So attachment, taste, more attachment. So the plant now keeps growing, and soon you see some fruit. So if you stick to the process, keep taking out the weeds, follow the bhajan kriya, follow the nartakriti, follow sadhu sangha, keep your Shraddha strong. You get more attachments, you get taste, and you get, really attached that you cannot but think of Krishna all the time. Now it's not like, oh, how much time did I spend on thinking about Krishna today? It's more of like, when did I forget Krishna? Did I forget Krishna by any chance today? Because like you're thinking about Krishna and you might occasionally think about something material. Not like you think about material and you might occasionally think about Krishna. It's the other way around now, process. So that way, once you're at that stage, you come to bhava. So after a few years, the mangoes are there, the fruit is there, they just need to be ripe. So at the bhava stage, we have the fruit, but it hasn't quite ripened yet. We're not quite ready, even at the bhava stage. Although we said last time that you could go back at nishta, but we're aiming for Krishna Prem. So even at bhava stage, the fruit is not just quite ready yet. And once they are ripe and sweet, and that's the prema stage. And then with that, you can make your mango lassi. Or you could just have them as they are. It's up to you. So that is the way to make mango lassi using your 9 stages of bhakti. And as I was saying, that once you see Krishna face to face, then he disappears and you hanker to see him again, and you become so desperate that you want to rather die, without seeing Krishna. There's that separation. So then Krishna comes and releases you from your desperate situation, and you may leave your body at that stage. Now, once you leave your body, where do you go? So now you meet Lord Krishna face to face. After meeting Krishna, you're desperate to meet him again. Hanking after him, you come to a stage where you are about to die in separation. Krishna appears and releases you. The devotee leaves his body and goes to the next destination. So we know our next destination without Krishna, that we're going to come back here, or a lower planet, or maybe if we're lucky, a higher planet, or we stay on this planet according to which mode we are attracted to, and we may become human, we may become some other 8.4 million lives, or 8 million lives in this instance, some other body. But if Krishna comes and releases you, where do you go from here? So it says that born in Vrindavan in another universe where Krishna's pastimes are going on. So there's Vrindavan in every universe, right? So you be born there. Could be another parallel universe, as we were talking about last time. So you be born in Krishna Leela. So when Krishna has accepted you, you are born in Krishna Leela. And Krishna Leela is going on all the time from one universe to another. So once Krishna packs up his paraphernalia here, he'll go to another universe. And this is like a ongoing a drama. This pastime is ongoing, is eternal mobile drama, and it just moves from one universe to another universe. So you go and join him, and depending on the devotee's mood and relationship with Krishna, it takes birth in a house of a gopi. So you will be born to one of the gopis there in Vrindavan. The pure love of Krishna is already there. This love now becomes more intensified. So because you had love, your consciousness take you to that universe, and then once you're born into a gopi's house, then it's more becomes, you're one of the children of the gopis, and your love is really intense now. And then the gopis will show you, as parents, how to serve Krishna nicely, and you may be even taught by Lalita, Vishakha, Rupa, Manjari. They tell you how to serve Krishna. So basically, that's your apprenticeship. You get in practice. Before you go back to Godhead, you need to go in this apprentice course, and like Krishna disciple course. We have Guru disciple course. It's like Krishna disciple course. You have to have the understanding how to serve Krishna nicely, and there's nobody better than the gopis who can teach you, because they're the best at serving Krishna. So you learn. But now the other thing is because we are in the Sankirtan movement of Mahaprabhu. So you think, so I am following Lord Chaitanya's mission. So how did I end up in Krishna Leela then? In fact, we do both. We expand into two. We join Krishna Leela, and we also go where the Chaitanya Leela is going on as well. Mahaprabhu's Leela going on in the Sankirtan movement. We go and join that as well. And you perfect both of these. So you perfect how to serve Krishna in Krishna Leela, and you perfect how to serve Mahaprabhu in his mission as well. So both things in the Gaura Leela. So you're doing both of these things simultaneously. How wonderful is that? So that's our next destination. So we know what to do now. We now follow these 9 stages, and we just build that adhikar with Krishna. He come and see us and release us from this material world. We go and join in his Leela wherever right now his Leela is taking place, in whichever universe is taking place. So this is like amazing, isn't it? There's Leela going on all the time. All we need to do is just go and join it. Just find out and go and just join that Leela wherever it's going on. That's where everyone is. Where is everyone? Where's all these people? Where is the gopis? Where's the gopals? Where's Krishna? They're doing the Leela, and they want us to come and join them. And Mahaprabhu, the Panchatattva, they're doing their Leela. They want us to come and join them. So here we can join both. This is the fantastic thing. It's not like, which one do we choose? You can have both. Once you're an expert, then you can go back and back to Godhead. And now we're talking about the mango. Just coming back to that for a second. The Bhakti Kripa that we were growing. So you want to know what is the water, what is the sunshine, etc., etc. So when you're cultivating this Bhakti Kripa, watering means watering that, so you got the seed, you planted it, and now you're watering it. How do you water it? Quality hearing and chanting on regular basis, and also hearing and talking to others about Krishna Katha. That is your watering process. Where does the sunshine come from? So warmth of devotee association, that's your sunshine. So you must give it some sun by associating with devotees. And keep your fence, avoid other things destroying your kripa, your plant. So you always put a fence around it, right? You block it from bad influences. So avoid bad company. That means avoid bad association, whichever kind it is. You avoid subtle and gross. Subtle means that your mind thinks of nonsense. Just tell it to stop, and use intelligence. Tell the mind what is more important. So avoid subtle and gross association. And how do you prepare the soil so your kripa grows nicely, that it becomes very fertile? How does your soil becomes fertile to grow that seed that you received? By gratitude to Krishna, to the Parampara, to Srila Prabhupada, and to the devotees who are helping you on the journey. Right? Have gratitude for them. Don't think that it's my birthright that people should do things for me. Have some gratitude that people want to help you, and some humility, and of course the faith is goes without saying. So gratitude, humility, and faith is your soil. If you have that, then it's very important to have the right soil. Without that, you can give you water, you can give you sunshine, you can give whatever, it won't grow. The soil first must be right, and that soil is you must have a gratitude, humility, and faith kind of mood. And what are the weeds? They're the bad habits that we develop along the way, the anarthas. So anartha nibriti. So as the bad habits we develop. And I just want to quickly talk about anarthas, so we have a better understanding of anarthas, and then you can stop and hear from yourselves. So anarthas means unwanted things, unnecessarily entangle yourself in material life, like using credit cards, traveling long distances for work. Srila Prabhupada gave example of people catching a plane every day to go to work 500 miles away. So like you just trying to accumulate more and more. Oh, I'll get a lot more money if I go 500 miles. It's nice to make money. We need the money, but don't need to go out your way and spending your life just earning money, right? So don't over endeavor, in other words. So Srila Prabhupada said we lack taste for the process of bhakti because of anarthas. They are blocking us. The anarthas are blocking us. For Krishna, no anartha is big enough. He can cleanse anything. So, we do the process. Krishna will help us with all our anarthas. And we'll discuss that in further up the line, how Krishna helps us. So there's 4 sources of anarthas. Anarthas may be coming from our previous sins, right? Because we've accumulated bad habits in the past. Previous pious activities, imperfectly performed bhakti, and offenses in devotional service. So these are 4 places where our anarthas are coming from. So Srila Prabhupada explains that one may be envious, cruel, ugly, stupid, poor, have uncontrolled senses, lusty, get angry easily, addicted to intoxication, or having poor health constantly, lonely, criminal-minded, or mentality. So these conditions make it difficult to execute bhakti. So these things, if you have these, then it's like some previous sins that you did. Now you have these things that are stopping you doing your bhakti. I'm not too sure how being ugly stops you, but anyway, that is like your previous karma. If somebody's really have some deformed stage, then complex, then it's because of previous karma that somebody has really big health condition from birth, then something that's carried on from previous life. I think that's what it means. So it's difficult to be renounced. Now he's talking about if we did good things, it's difficult to be renounced and completely devoted to the Lord if one is very good looking. So this makes more sense, right? To us at least. If one is very good looking and attractive to the opposite gender, because then like you're spending all your time just playing with the opposite gender, like you don't have, you're just having too much fun. You don't have time for bhakti. Has lots of money and very intelligent, creative, all signs of past good karma, but it may or it may not become a stumbling block. It's not definite, but it does happen. That's the point. That if you're like a superstar or something, and you have such a fan following, you don't always use that for bhakti. Use it for your sense gratification, right? And so these can become stumbling blocks as well. So we don't, in other words, we don't want good karma, we don't want bad karma, we want Krishna karma. That's what we're looking for. So some offenses are mentioned. Krishna Nam, 10 offenses towards the holy name. So we have to be careful of these things. Krishna Nam, 10 offenses towards the holy name, which we know. Savarupa, offenses towards the form of the Lord. Tadya is offenses toward devotees and dham. And Chitkan, offenses towards other living entities. So we have to be careful that we don't offend others, we don't offend the devotees, we don't say offense, we don't think or say anything about the Lord, and especially what's the 10 offenses that we have been given to follow. So nearly there. Maybe we can. Yes. Okay. So just quickly want to talk about devotional service in different modes. Just and then we'll finish it there. Tamasa Bhakti is like examples of devotional service in different modes. In other words, here. So Tamasa Bhakti. So Diti, like Iditi and Diti, two sisters. Diti performed Pumsavan Samskara to destroy Indra. That is Bhakti in the mode of ignorance, right? Duryodhan calling Krishna for feast to obtain favor. That is Bhakti in the mode of ignorance. And Daksh approached the Lord to compete with Lord Shiva. That is in the mode of ignorance. And Bhakti in the mode. So, we don't want to go into these modes that, we think we're doing Bhakti, but we're doing for the wrong reasons. And like even Bhakti can be in different modes. So we have to be careful that we're not doing Bhakti in the wrong mode. So Bhakti in the mode of passion. So Kubja worshipping the Lord for lusty desires. And Dhruva Maharaj, he was doing for wealth, but then he changed his mind later on. So Dhruva, Bhakti for wealth, and Kubja worshipping the Lord for lusty desires. Now where are there examples of Bhakti in goodness, Sattvic Bhakti? Indra, after killing Vritrasur, performs Ashmedha Yajna to destroy previous sin. So that's a good thing. Gajendra prays for liberation. That's good. And Yudhishthira prays to the Lord to carry out his prescribed duty so he can do his duty nicely. That's what he's saying. Right. Okay, I just want to talk about 8 categories of Prajalpa as well. So we are aware that what the scripture is saying. So there's 8 types of Prajalpa which we should avoid. As mentioned in the nectar of instruction that we shouldn't do Prajalpa. So it falls into 8 categories. So one is useless talks. If something's not about Hari, then it's considered useless. Arguments, godless quarrels like not based on the Vedas. Gossip, talking about other people to establish one's reputation. Debates, desire for conquering, try to win over somebody, just argument. Fault finding in others, imposing one's bad habits on others. Speaking falsehood because of one's self-interest. Blaspheming devotees, that's the worst one. Worldly talk devoid of God consciousness. So that these 8 categories are considered Prajalpa by the scriptures. So let's stop here. Thank you so much for listening. And now I want to hear from yourselves. Hari Hari Bol. So thank you all so much for joining. And let's start with the Surashi Mataji, Hare Krishna, and want to hear from as many of you as possible. Hari Hari Bol. Mataji, you are on mute at the moment.
Hare Krishna, everybody. Very nice, interesting class. I mean, the Bhagavatam is full of knowledge, and it was interesting for human beings. And in this world, we are entangled in this world with fruited action because we're thinking of body. We try to have a nice food. We have to have nice food, house, everything for the comfort for our body. And by doing that, people they forget Krishna, who made all these things, who made our body, and if they forget Krishna, they satisfy their bodies, and instead of engaging themselves in this transcendental service of the Lord. And the service of the Lord that will free us from the chain of karma. We are doing, every action we're doing is karma, either bad karma, good karma, it's all karma. And some people said we come in this world with nothing, we go in this world with nothing. Now, I think we come with karma. Everybody with karma, and when we go, we'll go without karma. We have to take our karma. We take next body, and we've taken the present body without karma. So that's why we bring something and we take something with us instead of material possession. And there are different yogas in the Bhagavad-Gita and Bhagavatam that we of our human beings should do, like karma yoga, dhyana yoga, jnana yoga. And they said that dhyana yoga is higher than karma yoga. And the jnana yoga is higher than dhyana yoga. And bhakti yoga is higher than jnana yoga. But they never say anything about bhakti yoga. Just I say you do karma, dhyana yoga is higher than karma yoga, jnana is dhyana, and bhakti. So there's nothing about bhakti. And Krishna is saying, one get liberated with only doing devotional service. I mean, there's a 9 devotional service, and if you can do one devotional properly, you can get liberated and you can go back to Godhead. There's an example given in the Bhagavatam that personality with one devotional service, they could free themselves from this material world. Like Maharaj Parikshit, he did only one devotional service, Shavanam, out of this 9 devotional service, and he gone back to Godhead. And Sukdev Goswami, he did Kirtanam, that means reciting. Kirtan is either recite or read or distribute book, is all Kirtanan. And the Prahlad Maharaj, he just remembering Samran. And Lakshmi Devi, she always save Krishna, lotus feet of Krishna. There's so many Lakshmis. Brahma Samhita, they say, Chintamani Prakara Sarma Sikla Laksha, very correct. So many Lakshmis, they're saving Krishna in Vaikuntha. And then Prithvi Maharaj, he was doing Archanam, that means deity worship. Archanam is devotee worship. And then Akrur, he done Vandanam. He's thinking of Krishna when he was going from Mathura to get Vrindavan to take Krishna to Mathura. All the way he was thinking of Krishna, that he's gonna see Krishna, he's gonna see Krishna's face, what Krishna is. So meditating the Vandanam. And Hanumanji, he was a Dasya, he was always saving Lord Ram. Arjuna was friend, and by friend he was worshipping and serving Krishna. And then Bali Maharaj, he surrendered to Krishna. He surrendered everything to Krishna. And by doing one of the service, one devotional service, if you do it sincerely, you can get out of material world, which is full of misery. We are suffering. We are suffering, but we think we are enjoying. And people ask, how are you? Oh, I'm happy, yeah. But nobody can be happy in this world. Because so many suffering, our suffering. We see other people suffering. And if a Vaishnava see that other people suffering is their own suffering. So the only thing is get out of this material. There's our purpose. Is Krishna saying, this is not a place for you to stop. He's trying to call us, but we are not listening like some children. They don't listen to parents. So we're not listening. And it gives us again and again in Bhagavad-Gita, he's repeating same thing again and again. But because we are entangled in this material world, with our mind diverted here and there, that we can't put our mind to Krishna. So we try to follow the instruction of Bhagavad-Gita sincerely and follow the Bhagavad and the devotees. That's why the devotees are there. and so we can learn from them what to do. So we can get this one out of this material world, which is a knot. So we have to cut this knot. Like you could the knot by devotional service. If you can't do 9, you can do 1 devotional service properly. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Mataji. Thank you for sharing with us. As there's so much in the scriptures for us to learn. Uh, shall we hear from Hina Mataji? Mataji, I hope you don't have to go, but just in case you have, I'd like to hear from you.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, no, thank you.
Sorry, Mataji, I hope it's on the wrong.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, thank you so much. Yeah, I do normally have to jump off at 9 o'clock as I'm at work. So, but thank you so much. Very nice class. First of all, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Very, very nice class, Prabhuji. Really nice explanations as well that you've provided around how devotional life is compared to a creeper, starting with a seed that we have to nurture, we need to care for it and grow it. So, with the view of trying to aiming for Krishna Prema, essentially right at the top end of when that creeper has fully matured and grown. So that was very nice, nice analogy in terms of how you explained it very well. Yeah, I was thinking about, you had made a nice point about the whole point of developing the devotional creeper. So if Krishna accepts you, then you're able to enter his lila, which is eternal, and it's going on in all the universes. And I was just reflecting on how this life is a preparation for the next. So I need to ensure that I spiritualize my desires. I need to stay focused on progressing on this path. And I often compare this world, or this material world, sometimes like a jailhouse of material existence. Yeah, and absolutely, we make the most of our time here, and in terms of developing our devotional life, but our goal should be to leave. And yeah, we're very fortunate. We have all the instructions to help us in terms of everything that's been outlined in our sastras, the guidance that we get from our sadhus and through the association of devotees as well. So we've got everything. We're armed with everything to help us on this path. So that was my reflection for today. Thank you so much, everyone. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Mataji. Yeah, it's amazing that we don't think about, that we think, oh, we're progressing, or we're doing this, we're doing that, we're doing so. But how important is to protect our bhakti as well. And last time we talked about, having a shield, as we're cutting through the desires and the knots with the sword of knowledge, but we're going to have the shield to protect us as well. So the protection is very important. We have to protect that creeper. It's very fragile, so it has to be protected at all times. Even Prabhupada used to pray for protection. So protection is, we pray to Krishna for protection all the time. Very important. Thank you so much, Mataji. Partha Prabhu, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Hare Krishna devotees, please accept my humble obeisances. The knots have to be cut down, and you explained very nicely about anarthas. Anarthas are the ones which are causing us to come back. And to cut down the knots, we have to have proper knowledge of the self. Srila Prabhupada in the purport in the beginning, he mentioned about the people believe about the soul existence. So some people believe that there is no soul. Some people believe that soul exists, but it doesn't have any independent existence as such. It will merge with Supreme Brahman. But the transcendentalist devotees believe that soul exists, super soul exists, and there's a relation between the soul and the super soul. And to cut down the knots, devotional service is the best, because here Krishna is going to take in charge of the person who is trying to come towards him. So Prabhupada referred to the Bhagavad-Gita Chatusloka 10.11. Tesham evan kampatnam aham ajnana jantam ha nyasayami atma bhavastu jnana dipen vasutah. So Krishna will give that knowledge when somebody is trying to come to him. He will provide that knowledge. And Krishna has given that knowledge through parampara. And in chapter 4 Bhagavad Gita, Tadviti Pradipatena, So we have to approach parampara, understand this knowledge in a parampara system, and we cannot challenge this knowledge. It's like submissive attitude, and without challenging mode, if you go, then you'll get answers for everything in your life. And using that knowledge, performing the devotional service, which we have to cut down this anarthas. And you have mentioned those 9. Please share that anarthas list in the group also, Prabhuji. And Prabhupada said, like, if one is doing this devotional service, I mean, there are two things which are like greed and lust, which are the major, like for the passion and ignorance. And if you are doing devotional service, then you should be able to see, you are actually able to control your greed and lust. If that is not coming down, that means it's a show of bhakti. It's not a real bhakti. So real bhakti means you should definitely see a decline in your greed and lust. That's what Prabhupada said in the class. Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna. Thank you. Thank you so much, Prabhuji. Kiran Prabhu, Hari Hari Bol.
Hare Krishna, everybody. I think one of the first words that was said this morning was adhikar. It's a right. Everybody doesn't have a right to some things, but through years and through lifetimes of the journey, we may have achieved the right to access this knowledge. Although it's available to everybody, you can take a horse to water, but you can't make it drink. And therefore, this nectar of wisdom is available to everybody, but some people may have not developed the right to access it or the ability to access it. This is, as it was indicated, is the perfect knowledge. The parampara has distilled it in a way which is scientific, and it is the supreme and absolute knowledge. And it's correct what it has been said, that why do you need to challenge it? Because when you look at the Chaitanya Chamrita and the Adi Leela, there were so many branches from the trunk which distilled this knowledge so sublimely that it's hard to question where the flaws, the faults, the gaps, the delusions and illusions are, because it is an absolute knowledge. And therefore, what has been given to us, right, accept it with submission and with grace, because if you follow those nine principles, it will ultimately lead you to the transformation that we're all looking for. The love will intensify, Krishna Prema will grow to such an extent that we can join in not only the Krishna Leela, but also the Samkirtan movement, which has one and the same part and parcel of the two. We can simultaneously engage in both, and with gratitude and humility and faith, be successful in this endeavor. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Prabhu. Yes, I like that. You might have the ability to access, as you said, but then you need the right as well. You might have the ability to do well, but then in the end, still is Krishna's decision whether he accepts you or not. So the end is in Krishna's hands. He's a sanctioner. We can be the best of the best, but then still Krishna decides, whether he would accept us or not. Thank you so much, Prabhu. Okay. Parveen Mataji, Hari Bol.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare.
Thank you so much. Yes, very nice verse, and you've given so much information on it. I'll have to listen to it again. And by Krishna's mercy, we can untie the knot in a heart, and then only we can progress. And this verse explains the glorification of the Bhakti Yoga, which is the topmost. It has to be done in the parampara, and then all our anarthas are eradicated by mercy of Krishna. And if we try to do without this, we can't really achieve anything. And then you explained devotional service in the different modes and all the different anarthas. So I'll have to listen to those again. And I like the example of the chickpea you gave. It has to be fried to stop it germinating. So you said we have to fry our karmas, which is very nice, and it makes so much sense. And like the example of mango tree as well. So it will be easy to remember all the stages,
Yeah.
the stages, yes. So thank you so much, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Yeah, this is the beauty of devotional service, that it doesn't matter. With other things, you can try and control, you can go to doctors and get, somebody who's alcoholic, get help, but then they will go back again to the same thing. The sins of that, or the desire of the sin, or the desire of that habit is there. But with the devotional service, the habit, the seeds are burnt as well as the plant, the seeds of sin are burnt as well. So you no longer go back to that habit.
Because I used to love my tea, and it seemed to be like if you used to fast and you'll have a headache, And with Krishna's mercy, then you don't miss anything when you give up. And I was thinking yesterday how much tea I used to drink. So it is amazing how Krishna helps.
Definitely nice. Thank you, Mataji. Jai. Ajaya Prabhu, Haribol.
Hare Krishna, everyone. Yeah, so we tend to, especially after having associated for a while with the devotees, we tend to focus on the anantanivati stage. We tend to feel, okay, we need to get rid of whatever is blocking us from pushing on to the higher stages of bhakti. Yet, I think we forget that actually Shraddha is important, that it's a very important stage, not just the first stage, you should bounce from that to the higher stages. You need to strengthen that stage, because if our faith is strong, as the creepers are strong, the bhakti creeper is strong, then we avoid making mistakes inadvertently, even. We avoid the sins. And so when we do come to a point where we can we are at another delivery stage, we can actually start removing our blockage as such. We have less blockage there. We actually have started the process properly. And that's where a difference between the typical devotee and the great devotees. Usually they get to it strong. There isn't a case of, I need to go back and I need to fix this, fix that. We fixed it from word go. But when you are properly focusing on what you're trying to do, when you actually have faith in the guru, faith in the process, faith in Prabhupada, then you will pay more attention how to do things properly. You will be more mindful. There's some devotees who actually they avoid Prajalpa because they Prajalpa properly because they're actually mindful of it. They understand that, okay, this is going to stop me from progressing in bhakti, ultimately gaining Krishna's benediction. Krishna's shelter is always there, but if we are to truly please Krishna, then we have to get along with the devotees. We have to be able to give bhakti to other people. And in order to do that, we have to show that we are actually entrenched in our own bhakti. If people see that, the bhakti is a bit whimsical, the bhakti is not really, it is, in this life, people are looking for something greater. That you have to show that day in, day out, really, in terms of your own bhakti. You have to show that, okay, what this process actually does work. Because if they see somebody, say, for example, who's serving for many years and then they just behave foolishly all the time, not just once in a while, I think most people can agree that everybody has a bad day. But if you just behave badly all the time, then they think, okay, what this person do doesn't make any sense. But if you are taken to it properly, you take it to the devotional line, then Krishna will spiritualize you. That's the thing. That's the difference between material and spiritual life. When Krishna spiritualizes you, then anything is possible because Krishna is with you. And when you're actually taking advantage of Krishna's not only mercy but ability. Krishna's ability is unlimited. we tend to try to depend on our own ability, and that's where we go wrong, because we are very limited. But when we take Krishna's hand, we take advantage of the unlimited, the amazing, the unstoppable, and that's when we progress. Not only ourselves, we help others progress as well, and that's what we need to do. Because that's where Shraddha comes in. Because when we truly have faith in Krishna, Krishna will guide us. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you. Yes, good preparation even in material life. If you prepare properly, lay the foundations properly, then what we build over that it can only be good. So thank you for sharing, Ajaya. Prabhu. Radharani, you want to say something?
Hare Krishna, everyone. Please accept my humble obeisances. Beautiful, beautiful realizations from everyone. And it's how wonderful that when we started in January, we were saying that we'll be progressing in such a way that, as the verses progress in Srimad Bhagavatam, we'll be looking back and saying that, wow, it's not difficult for us to, speak up our realizations truly coming from our heart during the session. Amazing. Krishna is telling us that we have to get rid of these granthis, and granthis we carry all the time, and Kali-yuga doesn't help us. Kali-yuga is giving us more and more temptations every moment, so the more granthis they settle in, whether it's when you look at somebody doing materially well or spiritually or bhakti well, then you think that, oh, why can't I do it? So instead of looking at the good points, that what they have actually sacrificed to build that empire, whether it's in material life or whether it's in bhakti life, so instead of looking at their good points and trying to imbibe them somehow, or with their association, or just just copy them in a higher way, copy their good qualities. As human beings, we tend to look at the negative sides first, and in this way we rub maybe 5 anarthas in a nano form in a year, and we accumulate 10 more, or maybe 20 or 100 more. So this is our problem. So Krishna is saying that ye yatha mam prapadyante tam sathaiva bhajamiham. So he's just waiting and watching us, and sometimes we will see that somebody has done a little effort, but they get more adhikar, they qualify for the more adhikar than us. Why is it so? But now we understand that could be that their effort is more pure, is coming in a more purer form, and maybe they have got rid of all the past knots, and suddenly it seems that, oh, how come this one has qualified so easily then, and I have been enduring for so many months or years. But the problem in this day and age is we are looking for instant results. We want instant gratification. We think that we have done japa nicely, for example, for a week. We think Krishna is going to award us quickly. It doesn't happen like that. Krishna is looking for, long-term athletes who can run steadily in the marathon and can reach the final goal there. So he's looking for those, because like Narayan Keshav Prabhu was explaining how we are going to take birth in the Gopi's house. So taking birth in a Gopi's house is not a joke. We can understand. Even achieving a little thing in this world, you have to do so much preparation, so much sacrifices have to be done. But this is like your soul's ultimate goal, to be born in a universe where you will be trained by the personal trainers appointed by Krishna, which is Lalita Devi and Vishakha Devi, the highest gopis and the highest manjaris. And so we have to prepare for that goal and not take it lightly. And we have to be in constant goodness. This is what I have understood today properly, that it is not goodness for just one moment. It has to be constant goodness mode. Then we will be able to achieve the Shuddha goodness, which is the Shuddha Sattva. So very easier to say, very easy to hear, but application is where it will be seen that we have reached the 24 karat stage yet or not. But yes, it is not impossible. We are part and parcel of Krishna. We have the same qualities. The quantity is different, but sometimes, like we have seen how in the Ram Leela, the squirrel got more brownie points than Hanumanji at that moment. So it is doable. And how the sparrow, she challenged the ocean, and how Garuda helped. So Krishna is going to help us, whether we are in any kind of anartha which we think is impossible to get rid of. But if we are honest, if we are eager, everything will be provided by Lord Krishna. So thank you all. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, and thank you all so much for sharing. I have lots more to share with you as time progresses, and bit by bit, we can grow that bhakti kripa and protect it as well together, and give the sunshine of your association and water it, and make it grow. So thank you so much, and let's grow together.
Yeah, and to our eternal Valentine, Lord Shri Krishna, happy Valentines.
Hari Hari Bol.
Hare
Jai.
Krishna.
Thank you so much. Shiv
Hare
Bhakti Jai
Krishna.
Srila Prabhupada
Srila
ki.
Prabhupada ki jai.
Yeah.
Swami
Hare Krishna.
ki jai.
Hare
Krishna.
Hare
Hare
Krishna.
Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.